making this video to hopefully save a few of you guys who might be considering the cabin in the woods, off-grid, homestead type of lifestyle. I'm living it, and there's a large percentage of the time when it sucks royally. Right now, for example, it's late March, calendar spring, and we've just got the biggest, heaviest dumping of snow we've had all winter so far. As I walk and record this video, I've got snow pouring over the tops of my winter boots. My toes are freezing. I'm heading up to the shed to hopefully find my battery booster so I can boost the battery of the four-wheeler that won't start, so I can hitch the plow blade up to it and hopefully clear this driveway before the snow gets any deeper, because if it gets any deeper, it's going to start pouring over the top of the plow blade as I try to clear, and we're going to be locked in here until the stuff melts. This is a typical situation when you're living in the country. I'm not saying it's this rough all the time, but it sure isn't a picnic. And if you're one of those people who watches those homesteading, cabin in the woods type of YouTube channels that romanticize this life, well, guess what? Those people and those channels are lying to you. Or at the very least, they're distorting the truth. And I've been one of them, don't get me wrong. I count myself among the guilty there, as far as presenting this life as the ultimate soul healing, life fulfilling type of thing. But the fact is, most of the time it's a struggle. It's a struggle against the elements. It's a struggle against the constant disorder that naturally creeps in, sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly. It's a struggle against never feeling like you're hitting that balance between work and family life, wondering if you've been there enough for your wife and daughter, or if you've been there enough to get the building project done so they have a decent-sized house here in the middle of nowhere. Guess what? I, for one, have never felt like I've succeeded in either of those areas. And if you're thinking that this looks beautiful and it looks like I'm surrounded by a postcard right now, yeah, you're right. It is pretty out here. And I wouldn't trade my surroundings for anything. But this life is hard. And if you think in any way, shape, or form that living in a cabin in the woods is like some permanent cottage getaway, think again. Your life is not going to get easier if you move from the city to the country. Your life is going to get epically harder. And kind of like marriage or having kids, I can't even describe to you in a way you'll understand how much harder your life will get in some ways until you've actually experienced this life for yourself. And you know what? If you have any doubts that you can handle an oppressively difficult existence, don't experience this life for yourself. Save yourself. Because there are times when I deeply regret the long, never-ending list of responsibilities that comes with my choice to build a cabin in these woods and live here with my family. Here I am, covered in snow, when in most civilized places in the world, there's green grass and flowers growing right now at this same time of year. I'm going to have to quit soon because my arm's getting too tired to hold up the camera. Unless maybe I switch hands. There we go. Good. Because I've got more to say. Unless you're really good mechanically, unless you're a passable carpenter and a good all-around Mr. or Mrs. Fix-It, who's physically strong and mentally stronger, don't come out here to the woods. Save yourself and your family the agony of a slow failure. And accept the reality that all of the wonderful, cheerful, folk music playing, positive type of YouTube videos, as I said, that show this life, they're only showing you a small sliver of the reality. The actual reality is digging out your generator when it's minus 30 Celsius in the middle of February during a blizzard, or doing what I'm doing right now, trying to fix a broken four-wheeler so we don't get locked into the middle of the woods, despite the fact that we have a four-wheel drive truck. Winter laughs at four-wheel drive trucks if you live in a place with real winter in the country as we do. Save yourself from hardship that you probably can't handle, that right now I'm feeling like I can't handle. Save yourself from the lie that this is all just sunshine and roses. Understand that the reality of peace and quiet and no neighbors comes with a heavy price. The price of always needing to be on your guard, needing to burn yourself out physically and mentally a lot of the time, fighting against a mountain of never-ending tasks and weather and elements that are constantly, literally trying to kill you, as you can see right now. If you think that you're going to find some sort of peace, I'm not saying there isn't any peace in the country, but it's probably not the sort of peace you're imagining. It's the sort of peace where there's no one around bothering you because no one else is that crazy to come out here and do what you're doing. And don't think that there's going to be times of year when you get to take it easy as a homesteader. Every season is just as intense, just as taxing, just as mind-numbing as you try to mentally and physically solve these Herculean challenges. If you're not ready for that, don't do it. If you think that somehow your urban life is harder than this, and that you're going to get a break if you move out to the country, that's laughable. Laughable. I've seen how city people live. It's a permanent vacation compared to this. You have no idea what this is like. So if I've opened your eyes a little bit in this video, then I'm glad. Because even though I love this land, and I love many parts of the country lifestyle, there are times when I also hate it. There are times when I don't feel I can take another step, both physically and mentally. There are times when I don't know how to fix the machine that's broken down for the 17th time. But if I don't, my family and I will be in serious, very real physical trouble. There are times when I can hardly move. I'm so stiff from building or fixing something. And by the way, irregular 9 to 5, 8 hours of work a day, you can forget that. I've worked 24 hours straight, routinely, here in the country. And the thing I was working on still was nowhere near done. But it had to be done. So I did what it took. If you're ready for that lifestyle, then by all means be my guest. But I just felt that it was time for me to stop being one of those dishonest homesteading channels that paints this life as peachy and easy and restful and meditative and nothing else. Guess what? It ain't that. I'm sorry if this comes off as negative, but every word I've said is true.